crap, are halfway through the year. Can you guys believe that we are halfway through the year already? Where does the time go? I hope you guys got your pen, paper. We're about to hear some flame tonight. For most of you guys know me, my name is Arnold. I'm 35 years old. I'm a parent. I'm a veteran, convicted felon, lived in my vehicle. I've been through a lot of stuff. I share all that with you because, we're people from all different walks of life. And that's one of the biggest things I appreciate about this company, this platform, is that it brought us together. And we probably would never even cross paths had it not been for not only this, but for who's going to be throwing down tonight. So, that's one of the biggest appreciations I have for this. And we're all here for different reasons. My why, my biggest why, I could give you a ton of them, but my biggest why is my parents, and their retirement, and rather their lack of retirement. And I don't know what purpose, you have of being here and what drives you to come here. My second purpose being my kids. I love them to death, but my parents, I think, are the ones that are in that position that really, really need me the most. And I think for me, this platform has given me the opportunity. Specifically, for me, it's been time-based trading. You guys know that that's just what I like. I'm an impatient person, and it's just something that's really worked for me. And so, for me, that's something that I feel is going to take me and my family to a place that we probably wouldn't have otherwise. I know nothing but hard work and labor. My dad taught me how to work hard and enjoy it, and take pride in it. I think that's what it is. And so, for me, that's pretty much where I was going. And had I not come across something like this, I don't think that I would be the person that I am right now. I wouldn't have taken the opportunities that I've taken. I wouldn't have lived in my vehicle had I not had this sense of need of something bigger than what I had. And so, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to share this with you guys and share this moment with you guys. And again, it's June. It's about to be July. We're about to be we're literally at halftime here in the next week. And it's crazy that we're already here. And so, tonight, like I said, we're going to hear some flame from one of this individual. You guys all know this individual, but for me, my personal relationship has been nothing short of great. A true, I guess you could say, family is the best way I could put it. Very selfless and a servant leader, and most of you guys have your own personal take on that, but I think we can all agree that this person has definitely been there for us in more ways than I can count. So without further ado, thank you for this opportunity to be here with you guys tonight. Again, except for Jock, I mean, I hope you're pulled over, but pen and paper, guys, it's time to take some notes down. So Abby, thank you for tonight, and take it away.
Let's go. Guys, can we show some love in the chat for Arnold? Drop your favorite emojis, drop your favorite numbers, show some love for Arnold. Literally texted him yesterday, day before, and I was like, bro, can you step up and open up the call tonight? And I appreciate you for saying yes and making it happen, figuring it out, not doubting yourself, but knowing there may be a little nerves in there, but making it a priority to step up. And that for me is huge. When somebody can get called on and they're ready to go, they're prepared, or they'll make themselves prepared for the opportunity. So I appreciate you, dog. Guys, we're gonna get into the call tonight. Arnold said a few things that were really key, on his opening, but something I want to touch on really quickly is that it is June. It's the beginning of summer. I think just the other day, the 21st, it was the longest day officially of the year. I don't know about Arizona. I feel like it's all day heat, hot summer weather out here. But something that he talked about was, it's June. It's, it's the halfway marker throughout the year. And I noticed you start to notice things as you've been in the game long enough where people's actions, behaviors, attitudes, things will start to change. You'll start to, everybody goes through certain seasons in their life, and you start to see those that are really here, really grounded, really about this, and they continue to show up consistently no matter what season we're in. And you see them on these calls every single month, every single week, whenever we're doing things. And I just want to bring it back to you guys for being on this call, for showing up on a Thursday night, whether it's 6 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. your time. I know, some of the guys that we have on the call, some of the ladies on here that we have on, it's sometimes in the middle of the night for you. And I just want to bring it back to you guys for making the conscious decision to be here and want to grow, want to develop. So the topic for tonight, guys, we do these monthly calls. At least we're trying to, at least every single month, to bring everybody back together, to circle everybody back up around the campfire. And I want to make this super clear too. This shouldn't be the only time that you're jumping back in the fire. You should be consumed by the fire. You should be, not just, I'm right here by the campfire, like I'm in the fire. I am the fire. Okay. You bring off that heat and that light for other people, or eventually you can become that, but for yourself and your progress and your growth and your standard of excellence that you hold for yourself. And tonight, I've got a couple topics that we're going to go through. I want to just kind of recap and give some announcements, if that's okay. But like Arnold said, hopefully you have a piece of paper and a pen handy, because we're about to get into it. It's going to be a good call. So I wanted to start off with a quote. I heard, I forget who I was listening to. It was on Go Live. I forget which educator, but they said the only thing, you should write this down, the only thing holding you back is your greed and your doubt. And you don't need to completely dissect that quote right now, but I want you to take a look at it after this call, because I promise you, most of the results that we're seeing in our life, and the results that, as far as like a negative result or a result that we don't want to see, or, things that are keeping us and holding us back, I promise you it probably has to do with this. The only thing that is holding you back is your greed and your doubt. Okay. And I want to just recap really quickly. Last month, May, we went over, the six stages of a trader. We talked about the scalper, and how to effectively start growing your income, your capital, and leveraging the tools and the education that we have inside the platform. And I got a lot of, I know some of the team on here messaged me, but I personally had text messages and we got on phone calls with the team afterwards on how monumental that call was for them. And I believe that the call tonight is not only you're going to have breakthroughs, but you're going to have transformational moments after this call, maybe even on this call for you. So I'm excited for you guys to experience that. But a couple announcements. Some of you guys probably saw this. If you have the Elite Pack, if you have DCX, you probably saw the drop of the new DCX Academy videos. I just literally right before this call, I started going through the welcome series, and they're very, very clean, very like straightforward, to the point. And it gives, whether you're brand new or maybe you need a refresher, you need to go back through them and kind of, get your bearings again, really set the right expectations, because that's really what it does. It's setting you up to create the right expectations for yourself, set realistic, practical goals around trading. And I'm not on here, I talk about this a lot, but there's a difference between, being obsessive and delusional about, big dreamers, big, goals that you have. But at the same time, you have to be able to reverse engineer your goal and pack it into a day-to-day non-negotiable that you can execute to actually achieve your goal. So if your goals don't match your work ethic, like, you're playing yourself. And so the Academy really kind of brings you back home and grounds you of what you can really do here, but showing you in a practical step-by-step way and giving you that game plan. So the DCX Academy videos so far have been very, very clean, very straightforward, very clear, and to the point. And then the other thing I want to talk about really quick is, some of you guys probably saw this as well, some of the talk about it, the MMX Academy, okay, and then the TLX. Some of the stuff you guys probably already saw. If you go through Go Live, you saw, Alex Morton's on there, Neno, Mornings with Neno. I remember listening to him quite a few times. He's officially on the platform now, which is really, really cool. And then there's the TLX. Now, I'm not on here to be like, all right, everybody, go get MMX, go get TLX, make sure you upgrade. That is not what this is about. I was going to jump on this call, whether there was 2 people on here, 5 people on here, 50 people on here, because it's not about a rank for me. It's not about a position for me. It's not about a paycheck for me. It's about impact. Like, I've been getting very clear with myself of my intentions and why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm saying this so it encourages you guys to get back to why you're doing what you're doing. This is not about any of that. This is really at the core of it about the impact, about why am I, like, what's the mission? why am I really here? Why am I really doing this? And I'm sharing this information with you guys because if this aligns with your goals, if this aligns with where you want to go, and this aligns with, who you want to become, then maybe this is a fit for you to take advantage of. The TLX thing is like insane, crazy. The stuff that they're doing, you can, it's still to and free style. You can still get it for free. If you share with a couple people, if that's what you want to do, it makes sense. It's insane. You're saving and putting money towards not just experiences and discounts and things like that. I would say more as a higher class experience, higher tier level experience. But you're also, at the end of the year, they're going to give you that vacation or whatever, that destination experience that you can take advantage of. And I know myself, Alex, and a few others on the team, we are definitely taking advantage of that. And so if that's up your alley, get it, great. If it's not, it's all good, okay? If you know anybody that it is, share it with them. But then the last thing is the convention in Arizona, which is going to be incredible. And one thing I'm just going to touch on is if you haven't got your ticket, you're going to go grab your ticket if you can. If you've got your ticket, amazing. Continue to spread the word. I saw something the other day, and I'm not going to go into this topic for very long. I just want to share it because it really hit my heart when I heard about it, and like just kind of like, oh wow, there was that association with this. But conventions for me have always been something that has filled my cup. And we can go through life, maybe you're on the giving end. You're that person that's always stepping up and being the first person to step up and give. And it's exhausting and it can be draining at times. And, you're not really filling your cup in the ways that can help you grow. And I was listening to one of my mentors, maybe you guys have heard of him, Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, and they went to a conference this past week it's called Vu's Church in Miami. And I was like watching their stuff on their story. And I was like, I have got to get to that conference the next time that they do it. And which is probably going to be in a year. And I was looking at tickets. They haven't dropped tickets yet, but I was looking at the tickets for this past time. Tickets were like $245. And I was like, I'm going to get them. I'm going to get my ticket. But I was thinking about it. I was like, why am I so excited about going to this convention? Right? Why am I so, looking forward and willing to put down and make certain sacrifices for a 3-day, 4-day event for $245, where, sometimes I think we can take what we have for granted over here. We can look at $175 convention ticket as, maybe a lot, and maybe it is based on your finances. But when you really break down what's important and what's going to help you elevate, fill your cup in the trading sense, in your mindset, in your heart, in your business, things like that, it's going to help you build your belief. What helps you build your belief? Experiences, elevated energy exchange. And you're not going to do that by sitting in your room alone. You're not going to do that by going to work, coming home. And, we raise the standards in our life. We set the standards in our life. And so if it's just you and your circle of influence, which maybe isn't holding you to a higher standard, that's all you're going to create for yourself. And so you guys get my point. Go get your convention ticket. Why? Because it's going to help you grow. It's going to help you elevate. It's going to get you in the environment. I would rather see, Justin Bieber play in a live concert, or Drake play in a live concert, or, who's an 80s band. I can't think of an 80s band right now. You listen to the news, right? I would rather go see those guys in person than listen to, at my home if I had the opportunity to. Okay. Y'all get my point. Go get your ticket. If you need it, it's in the pin post in the Telegram. Okay. Purpose and goal of these calls. We're about to rip it, guys. Like, we are about to get into it. I'm excited. The purpose and the goal of these calls are to, number one, priority, bring clarity. Okay. Fill in the gaps of your journey and elevate your perspective. Okay. And ultimately building your belief in what is actually possible. Really shifting what you think is possible and showing you what really is, and really breaking those limiting beliefs down. So the call topics that we have today, and we are going to do a giveaway as normal at the end. If you're on now, but you're not on at the end, sorry, I can't call your name out if you're not here. Yeah, let's rock into it. So call topics, we're going to go through, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see, you can write this down. We're going to go through 3 unavoidable trading lessons. Okay. 3 unavoidable trading lessons. We're going to talk about 2 major trading misconceptions. Okay. And I'm going to go into a little bit how we need to stop predicting, stop trying to make predictions, and start preparing ourselves. Okay. preparation in times of uncertainty and really any season is the most important thing that we could be doing. So I'm going to share my screen, but I want to do this in a way that is going to be beneficial. All right, let's get it. All right, drop some, let's do this, guys. Drop some threes in the chat if you guys are ready. If you guys are ready to receive, you guys are ready to not just hear information, but learn to understand. Because I think that's a huge issue a lot of us have, and including myself, where we're just, bombarded with so much stimulus and information and access that sometimes it can become so familiar that we become desensitized to it, and we get into this consumption mode, and we're not really learning to understand. We're just learning to consume. We're learning to know, but we're not learning to become. And that's what this is all about. Okay. So we're going to talk about unavoidable trading lesson number 1. And I want to give credit where credit's due. I've learned most of this information from my experiences with my mentors that are, most of them inside of this platform, and from Go Live educators that I've been able to stay very consistent with when it comes to tuning in and really growing with those educators and their teaching. So unavoidable lesson number 1, this hit home when I heard this, okay? Trading over time becomes more about reminders of the right things than learning new things. Trading over time becomes more about reminders of the right things than learning new things. And this is kind of like what I just touched on in a way, because most of the time we are so fixated on what's next, what's new, what's the next thing I got to learn on this person's session or this person's boot camp or this person's Go Live, whatever. And it's not necessarily about learning new things. You can learn new things, but if you're not learning to understand, if you're not learning to become, it's not going to do you any good. You're going to be in the same spot month after month, year after year, and you're going to wonder how did all this time pass and I'm still in the same spot, because you're not learning to understand. You're not learning to become. So trading over time becomes more about reminders. It's really just you getting the reminders, you getting the clarity needed of literally doing the right things. Trading is all about repetition, okay? Like literally it is all about repetition. It's doing the same thing, following your plan, doing the same thing over and over and over again, and understanding your plan, understanding your risk management. But you don't get there until you start actually taking action on the things that you're learning. And so that's why I'm really excited about the new DCX Academy, because it really lays out the right expectations. Not saying that you couldn't have done that from the get, because I did. I learned over time. We all found our shiny object syndrome, and we kind of centered ourselves to the one educator or the one strategy that we're going to learn. And that takes time, because trading is very personable. It's very like what works best for you and your personality and your lifestyle. So it's not about like, how can how can trading maybe be a part of my life? It's like, this is my life. Like trading is that tool that can help you fund areas of your life that you never thought were possible. So I really want you guys to let this lesson sink in. Trading over time becomes more about reminders. And this is why he calls it unavoidable lessons, because you can't go and grow to the next level until you understand these. Like you can't just, all right, Abby, I know that. No, you're going back to, I know it. It's not about knowing it. It's about, have you become it? Okay. So set little reminders for yourself. That's why showing up on a repeated basis, spaced repetition every single day, or, whatever you do 5 days a week, whatever you're doing, it's about the spaced repetition. It's not about intensity. Let me get all these Go Lives in today. It's let me do a session a day. Let me mark up my charts every single day. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And whatever you're seeking is going to eventually find you, but only if you're focused on the right things and you're starting to really narrow down your plan and your strategy. Okay. So that's unavoidable lesson number 1. Stop trying to learn all these things. Really start, like, once you have an understanding, start to narrow it down, start to really understand what we got to be focusing on. Okay. Unavoidable lesson number 2, trading is a mirror. It is a reflection of who you are. And this is the one thing, Mike Navarrete, if you want to write his name down, he's been a pinnacle educator for me when it comes to developing not only my mindset, but my emotional intelligence, not only the way that I think, but the way that I see things. And these are just 3 lessons that I've pulled from, I think he went over like 50 or whatever, on his series that he's doing right now. So if you have the F4X pack or you have Elite, you will be able to tune into him. And I think even F4X Pro. Okay. So he's been doing a whole series on these. I just pulled 3 of my favorites. So these aren't the end all be all, but they are a couple. So trading is a mirror, a reflection of who you are. And I've always said this, and you may hear your favorite educator say this too. Trading will either expose you or promote you. And I believe that trading will expose you first and may expose you for a long time until you get your act together. And then it will eventually promote you when you really do get serious, when you really start to click with those reminders, when you really start to get, rooted in your plan. But I love what he said here. You will learn to love trading, the process of trading, okay, when you learn to love yourself. And this was big. When he said this out loud, like on his session, I kind of felt some type of way. And I was like, does that mean if I'm losing consistently, I don't love myself? Like, what does that really mean? And like really dissecting it, so I could understand. And these are not meant for you to just, tuck away in your notebook after this call. Like, don't just even go back to this call. Go jump on Mike Navarrete's session if you have access to do so, because his sessions are really good. And he helped me develop myself, my EQ, my thinking, things like that. But when he said this, when you're on a downward emotional spiral and cycle in your trading, ask yourself, how do you feel about you? What's your perspective on, Abby, or who's on this call? What's your perspective on Julia, on Caitlin, on Lorenzo, on, Paul, on Crystal, Diane, okay? Say all y'all names. What is your perspective on yourself? Because it's not necessarily like I love trading because I don't get emotionally attached to trading, but the journey of becoming, the process of what is actually going on to become that person, as you're endeavoring on your, it's really self-discovery. And that's what's showing up on the chart. So if you're not seeing the results that you want, it's not necessarily about more chart work. Like, yes, you need to get your reps in, but I promise you, it probably comes down to who you are being when you're trading. Okay. And going back to this lesson, trading over time becomes more about the reminders of the right things. Stop trying to learn everything in the book. It's not about that. It's learning, a few things and doubling down on it, tripling down on it. Okay. And then building on what you've rooted and grounded for yourself. So that is trading unavoidable lesson number 2. And then the third one here, this one is, I think, one of my favorites that he went over, is number 3. Don't expect results. I know it sounds really weird to say. Don't expect results. Expect performance. And the reason why is because when you expect results, you're now focused on something that you cannot control. You can't control your results. And I know that sounds really weird. You're like, Abby, what are you talking about? Like, I can control my results. You can control your performance. You can control your behavior. You can control if you are going to follow your plan or not. You can control if you're going to plug in your stop loss, if you're going to put in a take profit. Okay. If you're going to use proper risk management, if you're only going to risk 2% every single trade. Okay. These are the types of things that he's talking about. Results are the consequence of performance and behaviors, good or bad. Okay. Results are the consequence of doing the right performance or the right behaviors, or, the opposite. And this for me was so monumental in my trading journey, because I always was focused on, like, I need to have a certain result that I need to hit every single week, or I remember when I had daily results, it was like, I need to hit this dollar amount a day or this percentage a day. And it got like, at first it was like, I got like a rush or a thrill, like I got to beat this number. And then over time, it was like this downward spiral of emotions, because I couldn't meet these like unrealistic expectations for myself. I don't personally, and I learned this from Mike himself, I don't set percentage goals per day. I don't even touch dollar amounts. Don't even go there. I don't even look at dollar amounts, but I don't look at percentage amounts. I don't look at I don't have those goals set for myself on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. And that's just personal. That's just what, he talks about on his sessions. And I know a lot of the educators do as well. And I know every trading strategy is different, but the real thing that the real message that he's trying to come across here is you've got to focus on what you can control. You can't control things like results where in a market that's, cycling $7 trillion worth or crypto, now it's under $1 trillion, but y'all get my point, right? Where there's so much money, so much volume, so many hands, so much uncertainty going on, all you can focus on is your plan, is your results, is your risk management. Okay. And so I want you guys to really focus on that when you're in your journey. Focus on how was my performance? What were my behaviors like? And really dial in on that. Okay. All right. Those are the 3 unavoidable lessons. I'm going to talk about next 2 major trading misconceptions. Okay. Let's keep the energy flowing. How we doing? Type of 5 in the chat. Y'all are with me. Type of 5 in the chat. Y'all are with me. I see we got some people's cameras on. We got, of course, Arnold. I see you. Alex, I knew you'd have your camera on, girl. Diane, look like you're in the beach. You're getting ready to go to somewhere other than Arizona because it's hot. Actually, we had some rain today. Drew, I see you. It's good to see you, bro. Paul, I see you. Love to see you. Jacques, I see you with your camera on. And everybody else, I see you, but I don't see you. But I love that you're here. All right, let's get it, guys. Okay, we're gonna get into it. Part 2 of the call, major trading misconception number 1. Let me share my screen. Okay. Oh wait, can you guys see it? Am I thinking my way? Can you guys see my screen? You can. Okay, cool. Okay, major trading misconception number 1, not having a plan and not sticking to it. Which pretty much a lot of the stuff you're like, Abby, you're pretty much saying the same thing, which maybe I am, but repetition is king. So, and if you're not sticking to your plan and you don't have a plan, you probably need to hear this. Okay. Number 1, I would even say not even misconception, but mistake is not having a plan and not sticking to your plan. Most people are just winging it. Most people design this big, amazing plan and then they don't even follow it. I'm going to do 2% risk per trade. And then you see them doing 5 or 10, or, they're only catching. Here's another thing. We talked about this on the last call too. And you're going to hear this a lot on Go Live if you're actually plugging in. It's not about hitting home runs every single time you trade. Okay. I am not trying to hit 1 to 10s on my trades. No, if it happens, great. I'm not trading probably the rest of the month. I'm trying to hit 1 to 3s, trying to get on base. That's it. Trying to get on base, trying to get my, my 4 to 6% on my trade because I'm risking 2. So my 1 to 3 is going to put me at 6, right? That's what my focus is on. And this is what all the educators talk about. So this is probably the biggest, I would say, I'm going to not put misconception. We'll do mistake. Okay. Is not having a plan and not sticking with it. The worst thing is not having both. But I think the second worst thing is not even sticking to the plan that you wrote for yourself. It's not the market. The market's not taking your money. Okay. Market takes nobody's money. You win or you lose because that's the decision that you made. Okay. This whole journey is never going to be about blaming and pointing the finger. If you find yourself in that position where the results that you're getting is because of somebody else or something else, you're already putting yourself in a losing position and you will not be successful in trading and really anything if that's the attitude that you're going to have. And I'm just keeping it real on this call because I want to see everybody succeed, and everybody can, but you have to stick to the plan. So just check yourself. If you notice that you're starting to blame and point the finger and even maybe complain about your results, you got to cut that. You got to cut that immediately. Okay. And that's that self-awareness that they talk about on these live sessions. So pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to break this down any further. You got to have a plan. You got to make sure that you're sticking to it. And that's the other thing too, is a lot of people think they think what we show them in the academy sometimes, it has to be more complicated than what it really is. And because it's not, like, it's actually like the scalper is actually simple. It's actually that simple, but we like to overcomplicate things as human beings. And we think because if it's not more complex, it's too good to be true, or it doesn't really actually work or produce the results that we're looking for. And it's just like, no, that's not actually the case. It's really that simple. You just need to follow instructions. You just need to be coachable. Okay. So major trading mistake number 2 is setting practical goals, or sorry, not setting practical goals. Abby, you did not proofread. Not setting practical goals that don't match your actions. Okay. If you're setting goals that do not match your work ethic, you're setting yourself up for failure. Okay. You can't say that you want to go 6 figures, but you've never hit 5. Like in let's say a 6-month time frame. I'm not saying it's ever going to happen, but show me your work ethic. Show me your consistency. Show me your plan. Not me personally, show yourself. Okay. But this is probably one of the biggest downfalls that people have, is not setting practical goals and then not having the work ethic to back it up. Like, success is really not about like the grandiose goal or dream that you have. That will come when you develop yourself into the right person. It's actually about setting the most practical goal possible that you know you can hit every single day. And then every time you hit it for, a week in a row, 2 weeks in a row, a month in a row, whatever. Now it's about building on that. Maybe you're having a hard time. You want to wake up early in the morning, but you keep sleeping until 7, but you want to get up at 5. Well, half the time, if you go from 7 to 5, it's not going to work consistently. Like, do it for an entire year. Like, unless you're in the military and somebody's going to force you to do it or whatever, like, it's probably not going to happen. Trust me, I know this because I've done that. You have to set practical goals for yourself. You have to make sure that your goals match what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're willing to put up in work ethic. Okay. What you're willing to grow through. And I think this is the biggest one. This is like kind of part 2 of it, is a lot of people haven't defined what success means to them. You don't know what success means to you, and you're chasing what everybody else is doing and what everybody else is having as maybe results, but you have no idea the context behind what they had to get there, what they did to get there. And so I think this is super important, not only why you're doing it, but what does results actually mean to you? Not everybody, wants, like, deep down, not everybody actually truly wants to be a multiple 6-figure trader. Most people would be totally cool if they just had an extra couple $1,000s coming in every single month for their trading, to provide for their livelihood, to provide for their family, to go do cool things with whoever. But you have to, and that's okay. You have to define what success means to you. Otherwise, you'll be chasing what everybody else is doing, and you'll never, like, not even like you're filling in a void or a gap, but you'll never like actually get to a point where you are making progress that you feel good about, and you actually have fulfillment in the work that you're doing, in your level of contribution. Okay. All right. Those are the top 2 I wanted to share with you, just even based on some of the conversations that I've had with the team, and maybe, hopefully those stuck out for you. Something in here is sticking out for you. But the last thing, I'll share everything with you. That's fine. All right. The last thing I want to talk about, and we're going to get into the giveaway and wrap up this call. But really, guys, the whole goal of this call is just to really bring you back to center, redirect you from maybe where you were in your mindset and maybe some of the doubts and fears that you're having, and bring you back to a state of belief that, you can really do this. You just, these are the guidelines. This is the track you got to run on. But the last thing I wanted to talk about is preparation. We're in a market right now where I think we've been here before, where, we've seen like the crypto markets go down, but I believe where we're at, and I've heard a lot of the educators and, some of the leaders talk about this. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. And even talks of like recession and things like that. And it's really, really important that you are very, very mindful of like yourself and your actions and what you're doing. And a lot of people I've seen are trying to like, predict the next move of the market. Is Bitcoin going to go up here? Is Bitcoin going to go down here? And, you listen to some of the Go Live sessions, and they do speculate. They do kind of give you, their idea of what the market could do and where it could go, and giving you their analysis. And it's very powerful to hear their insight and see how they see things and how they're understanding, this market cycle. But one thing I left my book out there, but one thing I've been learning about in the book I'm reading, it's called Unshakable by Tony Robbins. It's a very good book. And he talks about how nobody, like, doesn't matter how good you are. He even talked about, the big boys and girls on Wall Street, like nobody can predict the market. It doesn't matter like who you are, how good you are. Nobody can predict the market to a T or anything like that. And so there's no point in trying to do that because it's a losing game. What you need to focus on is preparing yourself for any possible market scenario. And one thing that he said in the book that was really reassuring, because it actually isn't supposed to be a daunting book. It's actually supposed to empower you and equip you, which is what the Academy does. It's to empower you and equip you with the right knowledge, information, access, tools, and know-how. But he says, every bear market, the bull market actually lasts longer than the bear market. The bear markets just seem a lot more scary because of, the news is amplified in fear. And, people, when they realize things are going on, the only reason why things go into a recession or even depression is people just stop spending money. And, businesses can't thrive and things like that. And so it's super important. He was like, after every winter follows what? Spring. Every winter, spring always follows. And that was very, very reassuring to have that perspective of we're not like where we're at isn't going to last. And if you have doubts about the markets or things like that, one, you should probably get back on Go Live, because every time I plug in, like every doubt I have in my body, like dissipates, like goes away. I just know where we're at and where we're going, and I have a plan and I'm following it. But the number one thing you could be doing is getting educated, increasing your financial literacy, your financial awareness, your emotional intelligence in times like right now. Because while everybody is quiet, which I've actually been kind of quiet on my page, I've been, doing other things, but while everybody is like not focused on how they can get better right now, and they're going into hibernation mode and not doing anything or whatever, this is your time to shine. This is your time to get at the forefront and double down, but be smart. Don't, put all of your money into the markets. Be smart about allocating and budgeting your money where you can actually grow and see a pretty nice return over the next couple of years, 5 years, whatever. Okay. But that's something he said right here. Focus on preparing yourself for any season, any possible market scenario. Focus on what you can control. And I wrote a couple things down for you guys to take note of. These are the things that you can control, and obviously more, but here's a couple things. You can focus on controlling your trading plan, okay? Your confirmations, your checklist, your stop loss, take profit, entry, your lot size, okay? Your personal development and your environment where you trade. And I know this can be maybe a gray area because you're like, Wabi, I live with, blah, blah. All right, I get it. But, maybe you can, and I've been there too. Not all the time, but like when I've traveled at home and I would stay home for extensive periods of time or whatever, wasn't like the best as far as like negativity and people talking in your face, or maybe it was noisy or whatever. You got to make do, and you got to figure out what's worth making sacrifices for. And maybe that means you do something different, or maybe you come talk to myself or whoever on the team and see some of your options. Okay. But your environment does make a huge impact, and you've got to really you really got to be focused on that as well. So these are just a couple things, and I'm sure there's more, but I just want to give you that. And then the last thing, this is something that Zachary Hogan said on his session, which again, if you plug in, you will hear this, but he said this was so powerful. I think it was on the DCX roundtable that they did last week. He said, the right education will always allow you to take action with confidence. The right education will allow you to take action with confidence. And the more confidence that you have, the easier it will be to navigate through emotions and stick to your plan. The reason why people go off of their plan is they have greed and doubt. The reason why people divert from what they know that they should be doing is because of these two words right here. That's it. And that's what's holding you back. Okay. So I wanted to share this with you guys. I wanted to give you guys some opportunities to really get clear on, maybe some areas in your life where, I got to work on me. We should always be working on ourselves, but, I really got to double down here, or man, I didn't see it that way. Or, I'm on track, but, I was looking this way and I got to keep my focus here. And yes, the answer is to continue to get educated, continue to plug in. Every time I have doubts, I look at when was the last time that I plugged into a Go Live session? When was the last time I talked with my mentor? When was the last time, I plugged into scripture? And in this case, when was the last time I did things that filled my cup? Okay, that provided me the ability to build my belief, to root myself in the right things. And ask yourself that too. So study with intention to understand. Don't just study to know, study to really, understand and become whatever it is that you're working on growing in your life. And take these things, take these things to heart and really go to work, because I truly believe all of you guys on this call, like, you can create the success that you want. You first got to get clear on what that means, but you got to stay disciplined. Like, you've got to identify what your plan is and stick to it. It's not about how trading is this mysterious thing that nobody can, master. There's a stat online we talked about the other night at our AZ meetup, how 97% of all traders don't succeed. Yeah, that's true, because most people don't ever work on themselves long enough to see the right results that they want to seek in their life. Most people quit. Most people don't plug in long enough. I'm glad that I did. Now I have a skill set that I'll be able to create and create results for forever. It's recession proof. I remember the first time that I made money online. I remember the first time that I saw my trading account in blue. I remember the first time that I took a trade when it was a sell. And I made money when the markets were going down, both in Forex and in crypto. I remember the first time I saw multiple 5 figures in my trading account, when I saw multiple 5 figures in my crypto portfolio. That can become a reality for you if you stick and stay long enough. Okay. So guys, that is the call. I always like to keep it on the recording just so we can go back, because it's so funny. But we are going to do, we're going to do the giveaway. What's that thing called? Spin wheel? Is that what it's called now? Oh yeah, wheel of names. Here we go. All right, we're gonna do this wheel of names thing. I gotta pull y'all's name up, but hopefully this call was powerful for you. Hopefully maybe you at least got something that you can go out and apply, and you're like, yes, I needed that. Or maybe it wasn't, and that's okay. I appreciate you guys for being on here. All right, let me put these names in here, and hopefully we will not do any repeat winners. I'm just kidding. All right, let's see. So we've got, let me know if I miss any names, by the way. Fernando, I see you. I was just in Cali too. Miss you. Actually, a lot of people in Cali actually. All right, Julia. Renzo, what's up? Nancy, see you, Paul, and perfect. All right, guys, we are only doing one giveaway. I'm not two, I promise. I know you guys love to do that. Is everybody's name on here? Please unmute yourself if it is not. All right, so we are going to shuffle these. Oh, I should probably tell you guys what we're going to give away. We're going to give away, hopefully you guys like some crypto. I don't have any other ideas, so crypto is like my go-to. But we're gonna do some Solana. I've got some Solana I've been packing, so we'll give away a Solana here. And when it goes to $500 a coin, let me know what your portfolio looks like, because it's at like 35 right now. Okay, we're gonna do this. I think that's enough shuffling. Y'all ready? Let me get my my camera out. All right, and then let me actually, I want to see everybody's faces. All right, y'all ready? We're gonna do this in 3, 2, 1. Oh, Fernando, let's go. I think that was your first time you won, dog. Let's go. I should really unmute everybody because it's kind of awkward to be, only hear myself. Okay, cool. All right, guys, that is it for today's team call. I'm gonna stop recording.